Did you guys hear the testimony yesterday on who can give birth? Abortion testimony from. Holy cow! Let me see if we have it. Yeah. What do we have here? We have it. This is from yesterday's hearing. It's a law professor from UC Berkeley. And she's talking to Josh Hawley, and he's asking about, can men get pregnant? Listen to this.
You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing that.
I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important.
Because of my line of questioning? So we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Oh, my God. I mean, this is like,
oh, my gosh.
It's like a religious dedication to being stupid.
Yeah, it is.
It's like I wish they would be dedicated to something, some other pursuit. What is this? What is this? We all know what we're talking about. And she's acting as if Josh Hawley asking if this is a women's rights issue is causing suicides. It's insanity.
So ridiculous.
No human being could possibly believe that. Yet there she is blurting it out and acting super confident, like she's got a big Twitter zinger she's about to post. It's amazing.
They have completely abandoned reality.
Crazy is. Absolutely abandoned reality. And they plant their flag in that invisible universe. And they're standing on no ground whatsoever. And they're like, yeah, that's right. People can fly. People can't fly. Are you saying that people who jump off of buildings can't fly? You know, people are committing suicide because of your denial that people can fly. What are you talking about?
No, the suicide is they keep jumping off of buildings. That's the problem.
Yeah, right. She went on. Here she is on the value of an unborn baby.
Do you think a baby that is delivered alive has value?
Yes.
Do you think that
took you a long time.
A baby that is not yet born has value?
I believe that a person with a capacity for pregnancy has value. They have intelligence. They have agency. They have.
I'm talking about the baby.
And I'm talking about the person with the capacity for pregnancy.
You're not answering the question. I'm asking.
I'm answering a more interesting question to me.
You think that the baby that is not yet born, let's say the day before this mother delivers, do you think that baby has value?
I think that the person with the capacity for pregnancy has value, and they should have the ability to control what happens to their lives.
Well,
wow, good God!
Can you imagine?
Unreal.
Can you even imagine in her classroom, if you wrote a paper and they said, I want it to be about abortion, whatever, and you talked about giraffes. And you turn the paper in, it's all about giraffes. And she would say, well, that's not the topic that we were talking about. I know, but this is a more interesting paper. Do you think they would accept that?
This person is convinced that she is about 100 times smarter than she is. That's what's fascinating to me about that clip, more than anything, because she's so arrogant, super confident. And it's interesting, we do this all the time, right? We play clips of, liberals looking stupid and answering questions in dumb ways and getting caught in their ridiculous logic. And we do that all the time. It's a fun part of the show. What's interesting about this clip in particular, though, is it's going viral on the left too, as if she won. Like, as if this was a good moment for her, because she's so confident and so sassy and going back at those jerks on the right who aren't acknowledging trans people or whatever they're saying. Like, no person who's connected to reality could possibly think she won these arguments, right? Like, she's just completely she's talking around it with like language tricks to try to deny the reality of the situation when it's so plainly obvious to any person who has ever lived on this earth that he's right.
Yep.
But we're still going to act like she's right because she said it with confidence.
So you don't come out and say things like this and be this arrogant your first time. Your first time and you're like, hey, men can be pregnant as well. The first time that was ever uttered outside of university, it was most likely uttered like, now hear me out. These people are in their own circles so tight where there is no dissent that it gives her the arrogance to look down her nose at anyone who thinks differently. And I can guarantee you, she left that hearing and the people around her went, you killed him. You killed him. Because all of the people around her are of groupthink. Nobody is looking, did you advance the ball at all? Did you convince anyone? No. I just told them off because they're too stupid.
Yeah. And Glenn, what you described there, I would argue, is our greatest hope. The fact that they are so far in these circles and are so convinced they're right of just nonsense that any average person can decipher and think is insane is the best thing that's happened to conservatism in 50 years.
And if Republicans use this in November, they will win. They will. I would. It's the only way to
defeat this. They have all the institutions. They have all the power. They have the media. They have all these things. But the fact that they're so confident and so overstepping reality is the only thing we have on our side. The only thing we have is the truth.
So, do you remember when we would gather every morning when we were in New York, and we would get down on our knees and we would pray every day. And we were so worried about things. And we prayed on, okay, what, can you throw us a lifeline here? Where are we going? And do you remember the answer? Do you remember the answer I got? In their arrogance, they will fail. And they weren't arrogant at that point. And that's why I tried to kind of goad them. Remember, I went on I said, they want to tell you. They want to tell you that they're Marxists. They can't wait to tell you. I was hoping to goad them into that. It didn't work. But look at where they are. We're doing a special tonight. Yeah, we're doing a special tonight on the planning that is going on now, the Women's March training that is going on right now. We have behind the scenes video of it. We had somebody go in and take the training with them, and it's pretty powerful. But as we're looking at all of the people who are behind all of the things that you're seeing, it's no longer hard to find. It used to be, well, that person was in the room with this person, and this person is a communist. And so it was always at least one degree of separation. Now it is full on. I think we have video tonight showing you Ocasio-Cortez being handled at a rally by the Communist Party. Jeez. I mean, they don't care anymore. They just don't care. And I don't think Americans are down with all of this. I just don't. But again, for the third time already this morning, maybe it's just me.